Thank you very much as ever for the comments, and various people have pointed out that I was struggling a with some statistics this morning. I was literally reading from the Mail on Sunday, which I'd picked up while I was having a cup of tea next to my local supermarket, and the the statistics which are printed on page 6 are extremely vague. First of all, the Delta poll only interviewed 1,144 British adults between December the 30th and January the 3rd. It was a very small number. And and then when it goes on to talk about it's this poll seems also to have targeted the royal family, about which I don't intend to talk. But I thought it was interesting. It says the voting intention: Labour 30, Conservative 23, Reform 22, Lib Dems 12. And my immediate thought was, oh, that's a percentage. But when I add up that number, it comes to 87. So there's 13 remaining in a percentage, and it doesn't tell me here in this newspaper what that 13% is doing. So I can only assume that the voting intention is 30 people in that selection of 1,144 intend to vote Labour, 23 Conservative, 22 Reform, and 12 Lib Dem. It's not clear. Is Keir Starmer doing well at his job? 26% or 26 people say yes, and 68% or 68 people say no. That produces a net of minus 42. And again, it's not clear if this is a percentage or if this is individual people. Let's assume it's a percentage. Well, then what about the people who have not answered? Is Kemi Badenoch doing her job well? 25% say yes, 46% say no. That's only 71% altogether. So what about the 29 who didn't respond? Did they not respond, or do they not know? And there's a difference, isn't there? And this is the problem. When you look at statistics are not clear one way or the other. And when statistics are presented in such a vague way by a newspaper, vague but bold, they are deliberately misleading. And although this provides a headline for the newspaper, it's a headline that means very little. First of all, the Delta poll isn't very big. It's the number of people interviewed isn't very big. But secondly, as I pointed out earlier, the percentage of the British electorate that voted for Labour is not significantly more than 30%. So therefore, this voting intention has not changed significantly. This is about a problem with the first past the post system, which rewards smaller parties that happen to be well represented on a national scale. It doesn't reward parties that have got a lot of support, but they are spread thinly over the various constituencies. It's a system that I think is badly in need of change. I was going to say reform, but I don't want to get confused by those words, by that word. It's and the questions which are asked are targeted to a particular response. Would you support a cap on how many legal migrants are allowed into the UK each year? Should there be more or less immigrants coming to the UK? Do you back introducing inheritance tax on farms over £1 million? 25% say yes, 53% say no. again, we have to look at the statistics through the binoculars of a very, very poor sample and some very, very biased wording in the questions. Statistics can be made to say whatever you want to say. I am not a supporter of Keir Starmer, and I don't think he's doing well. But this poll tells us next to nothing.